I'm Ryan Haynes and I'm the VP of Marketing for eRevMax. And we're going to take you through the 3 P's of hotel sales: pricing, productivity, and people. During this session, we're going to be looking at a market research project that eRevMax and Ecole Hoteliere de Lausanne did during the earlier part of this year. Then we're going to be looking at improving channel management with Best Western Belgium and the evolving consumer behavior with late rooms, followed by future technology engagement with revenue managers. The speakers this afternoon will be myself, and we're also joined by Jesper with Fogstrup, who is the Operations Director of Late Rooms, going to be talking to us about social media and new consumer engagement. We have Michael Thierry, Distribution Manager of Best Western Belgium. He looks after 55 properties in the region, and he's going to be talking about operations and efficiencies in revenue management. Followed by Michael McCartan, CEO of eRevMax Technologies, who's going to be talking to us about the future of revenue management technologies for hoteliers. So 2012 marks the 5th year that I've been working in the hotel technology industry. Before that, I spent 5 years in technology PR, and before that, 5 years in radio. In each sector, I saw the influence that the internet had on those industries. 1998, I remember the first internet cable that was installed in my radio station. 1 Ethernet dial-up between 25 people. Within a year, the radio station was broadcasting across the internet. It was streaming live video and starting to engage with listeners. 5 years later, I was doing technology PR with British Telecom. They had to look at bloggers. They had to look at what was happening with reviews of their products and their services. It became a key point and a key turning point in the way in which they started to deliver their products to their users and the consumers across the UK. And this is no different here in the hotel industry. So by 2012, after 5 years, I thought, come on, let's find out what really is happening within the hotel sector and clear the dust from all this future technology and find out what's happening here and today and what we need to help you as hoteliers out and achieve the best that you can for your hotel to increase sales and optimize the channels that you're using. Today's distribution mix can be a bit of a conundrum. It can be tricky. It can be confusing. Where do you start? Who do you use? What partners do you work with? How much do you give a partner? How much don't? How much distressed inventory do you have? And how much are you going to have for planned sales? All this comes to make a sleepless night for you revenue ramp managers. Now, this represents the key issues that EHL and myself found as we interviewed customers and hoteliers across Europe and North America. The key point was we need to increase RevPAR. It's been a tricky few years, and distribution was getting out of control. You were no longer selling on just 2 websites, 3 websites. It suddenly became 10, 15, 20, some in cases 35 or 40 different channels you were selling across. You don't know the productivity. It was actually hindering the performance of the hotel and the possibility of earning more money. Yet at the same time, you needed to increase exposure. You can't afford to do what Booking.com does, or Expedia, or Late Rooms. You need to be able to find partners who can invest in that visibility for you. Then we want to look at how strategy was really changing. Are we actually moving to a world of online sales? Or does traditional sales still play a key part in what we do when it comes to putting our rooms out there and getting our occupancy? So we found that, as the industry says, perhaps 31% is direct sales for those of you who are very successful in channel management, 35% for OTAs, and then 18% representing GDS. But it was key to reduce commission, losing money on valuable rooms because commissions were getting out of control. So hotels were trying to find a way in which they could minimize that impact on their revenue. Then it became that the GDS is dying? Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe actually it's a way of finding a new way of working with the GDS. Opportunities that are available that you haven't used in today's sales environment. We also found that travel agents and consortia contracts were coming to the forefront of some revenue managers' minds. Those revenue managers that perhaps have only been in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years hadn't really had that exposure of these sorts of contracts since those revenue managers of the 1980s and 1990s. The new breed of revenue manager perhaps is not so aware of the traditional sales route. Looking at how visibility and how hotels are managing their visibility, social media was really the key focus here, and digital marketing, and what was that doing to bring you direct sales or bring you sales at the end of the day? 32% didn't even reference social media or digital marketing. It wasn't part of the revenue manager's role. Some were aware of some of the Google advertising or digital marketing that they were doing, but not really how it was feeding in to revenue management and bookings and multi-channel sales, and identified that there was a lack of proof in the pudding for ROI in social media. What is social media really going to bring me? Or is it just a pure marketing tool? We asked them about technology. Where are you today? Okay, fair enough, slightly biased, because we were interviewing those hotels that had used channel management, but we interviewed the high-level users and the low-level users, and identified that channel management and channel management technologies is absolute key. But it's about working with the right distribution mix to get the right exposure at the right cost. Their key concern is simplicity, making sure it's accurate and effective for all members of the team and not just the revenue manager. And these are some of the things that, as an industry, we have to address. The vision for the future is that over the next 12 months, direct sales is going to be a key focus for hotels. How do I increase those direct sales? How do I get rid of those commissions at 15, at 20, at 25%? And how can I make more? How can I get the occupancy that I want? Perhaps I need to negotiate more advanced contracts, sell rooms in advance, work with more corporate organizations to be able to make sure that I've at least sold a good percentage of my rooms before I then start selling it to the wider network. Decrease distribution costs. Everything plays a part. All part of technology is part of your distribution costs. You might be looking at your PMS and integration with your channel management and your extranets. That's a cost. Having a revenue manager and a revenue manager assistant, it's another cost. Having 12, 13 channels with percentage commissions, it's a cost. So you'd have to review how much is outgoing before you've made the incoming, and how can I then balance that out? The mathematical equation becomes more complex, and hotels realize that without the data and the information at their fingertips, and without the efficient processes in place, they are unable to analyze the market efficiently, make judgments immediately, and be able to get out into the marketplace with greater exposure. If you want more details on the Distribution Challenge 2012, the market research is available on the eRevMax.com website. You can always contact myself as well on marketing@RateTiger.com. I'd like to now introduce Ecole Hoteliere of Best Western Belgium. He's going to be talking about managing the 55 properties within his marketplace and the challenges that he's currently facing within that market.